All right, so a lot of people were asking me, how did I add these graphics to a 3D printed plane? And I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to start off though. This particular plane I printed with ABS plastic. It would probably work with lightweight materials like lightweight PLA or lightweight ASA. Um, However, due to the oozing, it might not come out as crisp or as clean. So in a plane like this particular plane here is a Kyle's Designs Delta Fighter in 64 millimeter. It's going to come out a lot crisper in a material like non-foaming, non-active foaming materials such as regular ABS or regular ASA. So I'm going to go through the steps, show you my tools and my work chain, I guess, show you how I went ahead and added that. So to start with, I would pull up either Bambu Studio or Orca Slicer. What we're looking to do here is pull out an image, not an image, an STL that we're going to be working with. So in this case, I'm going to put a logo on this piece on Delta Fighter 64. So what I'll do is I just hit the copy key, and then I'm going to select all. I'm going to hit delete and then paste. Just a quick way to limit it down to one piece, because that's all I'm really looking for. I'm going to be importing this into a different tool. So by limiting it to here, it's going to save system resources. So I'm going to go File and Save Project As, and I'm going to save it here as Delta Fighter 64 Fuse with logo. Awesome. So I have it saved. So the next part is I need to get a logo. Should I pick a random logo? I think September 7th, Detroit Lions are playing today. So let's do Detroit Lions. So we got the Lions playing the Packers today. With the Lions playing the Packers, let's do the Lions logo. And what we're really looking for is an SVG. Was that Scaled Vector Graphics, I believe that stands for. But anyways, an SVG is a scalable image, not rasterized. So it can be sized, and it won't look blurry or edgy as you size it. So what you can do is literally look for an SVG, and there's a lot of them out there. Actually, I have apparently downloaded one before, so I'm going to show you how to do it without doing that, just in case you don't get that opportunity. So if you can't find an SVG, here's how you would make one without it. So this is an added bonus step. You don't need to do this. You can just directly download an SVG. But I'm going to screenshot this image. So I've now screenshotted that SVG. So let's go directly into Inkscape. So Inkscape is a free tool you can download. I use it often. Oh yeah, look at that. I was using it previously there. So I'm going to go back and open the screenshot. Should be opening. Let's try that again. Or how about I just download a lion's image. Save image as. Download lion's logo. There. And I downloaded it as a PNG. Good. Not as an SVG. That's what I was looking for. Because I know how to do it, I need to show everyone else how to do it. Why is my Inkscape not opening up? Alright, so let's go to downloads, Detroit Lions logo. Oh, because it's on my other screen. Let me pull it down. So we're going to just use whatever the default settings are, and I have to pull that back down. I'll maximize it. Awesome, so let's do this as a logo. So I'm going to click it until you get these arrows. I'm going to click Path, Trace Bitmap, and there, we have a logo. I'm going to hit Apply. If I go File, Export. So I'm going to export it, and I'm going to change this PNG to an SVG. By the way, this software exists, I think, for Linux, Mac, and Windows, and it is free. I'm going to hit Export, and it should have saved to my drive automatically. And there it is. So I now have this SVG of the Lions logo. So in my downloads, I have my Lions logo, and on my desktop, did I not save? Did I save that? File, save as. I did. Oh, I stored it in a different spot. So I'm going to put it in downloads as well. There. So now I have, go back to downloads, and my Delta Fighter and my Lions logo. Those are the two things I'm going to be using. I'm going to open up another free product called Fusion, or at least it has a slightly limited version for free. All right, so now that we're in Fusion, I'm going to show you the way I did it, which is probably less than ideal. The way I want to do it, the way my brain thinks. I'm not getting the surface that I want, so this feels like cheating, but this absolutely does work. So what we're going to do is we're going to insert a mesh, select from my computer, and I'm going to go with that piece we created before. And we'll drag that down to origin, which is a good habit in Fusion. All right, so we have that piece in. I'm going to, this is currently as a mesh. I want to convert it as a solid, so I'm going to click mesh up top here. You got solid and mesh. I'm going to click mesh. I'm going to click modify, and I'm going to convert mesh, which is going to take this mesh and turn it into a solid. Depending on your computer, this might take a little bit of time. Not too bad on my laptop here. Great, so that's there. And now I'm going to go back to solid. I'm going to create a box. And this is the way that kind of feels like cheating a little bit. So I'm going to create it on that plane, which was an origin plane. And I'm going to make it about like that. So the reason I'm doing that is so it's not in the electronics tunnel there, but I need it also farther past here, and it'll make sense in a second. So I'm going to change cut to new body, so that will make a new box for us. So now I have that, except I forgot to add height. So let's go give this some height. So now I have the fuselage and a box. I'm going to use the combine tool, so that's under modify, combine, and I'm going to select the box. I do want cut, so you got join, cut, and intersect. I want cut, and I want to keep the tool because I want to keep the fuselage. I'm going to use the fuselage as a tool. So under tool bodies, make sure that's selected, select the fuselage. It's going to think for a second, turn red, and hit OK, and what that's going to do is cut this box into the shape of this fuselage. So if I open up bodies now, looks like I did kind of bleed into the electronics area just a tad, so I'm going to remove that one just so it's not in our way. So this is, I'll call it our cheater box, and I'm going to name this our fuselage. Sure. So if I turn off the fuselage, you can see the box now is an inverse, almost a mold of the fuselage. Great. So let's bring in our SVG of the graphic that we're wanting to overlay, and in this case, the Lions logo. And I'm going to put it on the surface of the back of the box, just because it's convenient. It is there. And the logo's down there, so I'm going to drag it up, and that fits. That's great. If I wanted to resize the graphic, that's this one. If I wanted to just move it left and right, it's this one. This allows you to move it left, right, and up and down, just up and down. You can flip, or if you want to be fancy, you could rotate it, but I'll leave it right like it is. I think that's going to look great. And I actually might print this because this is going to be pretty cool. So I've imported the SVG. You can see part of it there, and there's this paw there. And it's going to be on the box. So now what I'm going to do is extrude. So click all the parts. In this case, there's just two parts of your SVG, which is now a sketch. And I'm going to extrude it, and I want to extrude it so it's all beyond my new box. Maybe that's a little too far. Yeah, that looks good. So I got like a millimeter or so hanging out there. I'm going to change this to new body again, and I'm going to click OK. Now, much like we did with the fuselage, we're going to hit modify combine. I'm going to do this part first, and then I'm going to use the box as a tool. Make sure keep tools on there. We need it one more time, or as many times for as many parts as you have. I'm going to do the main part first. I'm going to hit OK, and then I'm going to do the paw now. Modify, combine. There's the box. OK. I can hide my cheater box now. If you look at my logo, it has the profile on this surface of exactly what I wanted. So if I bring in the fuselage back, oh, my paws are hanging out. Actually, that might be kind of cool. I didn't quite make the box deep enough, but this is going to be kind of neat. I might print this and see if this looks cool. Makes it more 3D looking. But I'm going to take my graphic, and if you don't want these little extra things hanging off, just make sure you're sizing it appropriately. This was just a quick tutorial. And I'm going to hit M to move. So I hit M on my keyboard. Just so you know, I can also select these two parts. I'm holding shift. No, here, let me slow down. I'm clicking on one, holding shift, and clicking the next. That will click or select more than one. And then I'm going to go move under here. Yep. Move, copy. I'm going to move. I'm going to go click on my top view again. I'm going to click on this one to make sure I'm only moving on one plane. So I'm going to exaggerate it so you can see. And I'm going to move it. So the arrow's pointing that way, so I need to move it in the negative direction. So I'm going to start hitting the minus symbol. And I'm just going to move it a half a millimeter. So 0.5. I have mine defaulting to millimeters. It could be inches if you have yours set to inches. I currently think often in millimeters, so I will do that. And if you zoom in, you can now see the logo is raised off of it. So I'm going to do a modify combine, and I'm going to combine our fuselage. This time I'm going to change from cut over to join. I don't want to keep the tools. I'm going to add in the logo. Click OK, and it is all one piece now. So I can go File, Export. I'm going to change this to 3MF, and I'm going to put a BF fused with Lions logo. It's going in my downloads folder. Hit Export. Pull up Bambu Studio again. And let's see. All right, so the last part we need to do is colorize it. So there's our initial piece before it was done. I'm going to import our new part with logo. Oops. Click OK. So I imported it into Bambu Studio. This also works with Orca Slicer. I currently have it in PLA Aero, and I just so happen to have some blues. So I like this light blue. Let's colorize it with light blue. I'm going to click the part, click the paint tool. I'm going to look for, I'm going to look for this fill icon, which is a photo paint bucket, paint bucket. And that was too much. So I'm going to undo, I'm going to do edge detection and bring that down to 3. And I'm just clicking now, so you might have to play with this number to get it right where you want it. If you do want your edges to be colored as well, you should zoom in and paint those as well. And when you're done, click paint, zoom up, and print away. I'm not sure how this is going to print with these paws out, but it might be something neat and different. Or it might fail horrendously or change the flight characteristics. I don't recommend doing that part. But at least you guys get an idea on how I added a logo to an existing STL without the actual real original files. Yeah, so enjoy, thanks, and happy flying.